What's up, family? I'm Real Mike Rob. Make sure you tuning in to the 3-point conversion radio. They got all of it, and they keep it funky. Let's get it.
Okay, well, thanks for talking about this. How special is it to have XFL football back in Orlando?
Well, let me tell you, it's a dream. I moved to Orlando at the end of 2019, and I would drive by Camping World and say, gosh, if we could have a team here, if we could have professional football in Orlando. I love this town, and shortly after that was the decision about buying the XFL. Keeping Orlando top of mind while we were going through that acquisition and while we were looking at our markets was always paramount. And this is an amazing day. It's an amazing day to be in my hometown. It's an amazing day to have this game here. We've got a lot of Florida representation on that field. We got the OGs as our coaches. I mean, it's really, really a very special time.
3 of the 4 games in week 1 were decided by 4 points or less. Is that the kind of competition you guys are looking for? Question for both.
I'm going to let the president say that.
We're very pleased with the product on the field to date. Coaches have done an outstanding job. Our athletes have. We've had a great 6 weeks of preparation down in Arlington to get to that point. Coming out of the gate, week 1, extraordinarily pleased. Good games. Obviously, Thursday night in Seattle, and then yesterday in a driving rainstorm in Las Vegas. So good to be around some great weather, and as Dany mentioned, we're thrilled to be here and all that.
No, please.
How did week 1 go as far as we saw the TV ratings, fan attendance? How did that go?
So I have to tell you, we were so pleased. They were in line with our expectations. The fan attendance coming out in weather that was challenging, and we had our fans come out in a passionate way. The social media impact was one of the things where we were so excited about. The digital conversation about the game, the conversations about the rule changes, the way the play was, the dynamic play that we had, which was a very, very big piece for us. That exceeded our expectations. I think, as you guys know, when you are starting any type of league and you have the flash, but the groundswell of can you have conversations that are happening socially? Are people talking about it? That's where it really takes through, and we were so pleased to see that. Russ, I know you had your thoughts as well.
Yeah, no, I can tell you, Mike, from our standpoint, extraordinarily pleased with not only the linear distribution, but what we've embraced the digital and social world. And as Dany mentioned, the storylines, the conversations back and forth between our fans, our athletes, our coaches, our league in general. I mean, we over-indexed in everything related to our social engagement. So, again, very, very pleased, looking to build on it. We dropped our docu-series Player 54. We have some other really neat things we're doing on the social side, so a lot more to come on that front as well.
You just spoke on the game at Vegas yesterday. Are there any concerns about Cashman Field going forward?
No, none at all. We were working on the cosmetics to a point, but when you're from a football perspective, the most important element is the structure of the field. That field is extraordinarily sound. We're very pleased with it. Now, we dealt with some serious weather yesterday. High winds, heavy rain in the second half. But in general, the field held up very well, and we'll continue to work on it, and on the sort of the cosmetics of it, as I mentioned. But no, from the structure standpoint, that feels as good as it gets.
You said crowds were within your expectations. What does Orlando need to average for the league to consider it a success?
Well, first of all, it's a success because we're here. So I'm not going to throw a direct number out because our approach in Orlando is very similar to our approach in Vegas and any of our new markets, which is you get there, you build community, and you get started. I think we're going to have a very nice turnout today. I think the boys are going to be really, really happy. We'll wait till the numbers are in. We've got beautiful weather, which I expected for Orlando, so Orlando delivered for us. But really, we're about what are we doing week after week, and even when the season ends, what are we doing in our community and how we're building the affinity here.
You're talking about examining
has this day been for you? I mean, you probably had it circled on the calendar for a while, just this day today.
Yeah, so it was so funny as I was walking with my team, so they were like, you are different today, and it's a big day. So, I drove my truck here, right? So that is a big thing. I parked, I came, 17, 20-minute drive. No, it was about 28 minutes. To see this happen in a town that you love, when it's your hometown, and I love Orlando so deeply, and to be a part of what's happening here and adding to this community, it's spectacular. From this point on, you know, I am the chairwoman. I love all my 8 teams, so I'm rooting for dynamic play, and that's what I want to have out there. And I want our fans to have a great time, so it's really special.
Yes, Al from Alabama, was supposed to play your show. Yes, it's nice seeing you again. I just wanted to kind of ask you, being that you are the chairwoman, the games have been competitive.
Yeah.
Have you heard any strife from the players as far as rules or anything like that? Have we gotten to that point yet?
No, we have, you know, first of all, I want to mention that we are so pleased with the lack of penalties in our games. We're so pleased with the conditioning of our athletes. And you guys have probably noticed we have a fast game. It is a fast game. We had our athletes for 5-6 weeks, and so what they're putting on the field is fantastic. You know, we work to be player first. That was one of our tenets. We commit to that weekly, but we have had great relationships, and we have open communication. Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I think the open communication is critical, and we have been out front with our coaches since May, when our head coaches came on board, and shortly thereafter our assistant coaches came on. And then constant communication with our athletes. Some of the rules are different, they've changed, but they've repped it over and over again. And what was really sort of impactful for us is that we were able to light up a bunch of different rules throughout week 1 and week 2. You know, you don't have to go any further, guys, than the St. Louis San Antonio game last week, where you were able to see the 3-point play come into play. That game was 15-3 with 1:23 left. They make the 9-point play, then they enact the 4th and 15, which is only available in the 4th quarter. They make that, and then come down and win the game. So the kickoff rule, the extra point conversion, to have the opportunity to see all that in the first few weeks has been incredible. Now I'm just hoping for overtime so you can all see that.
Let you guys, overtime, we get that.
So you mentioned the success in the social media space, the new rules, having a chairwoman over the league. Is it safe to call the XFL in this edition a cutting edge league compared to what you see from the other leagues that are out there?
You know what I would say? I would say that was our intention. I think it's for our fans, it's for the individuals watching us, it's for our partners to say, yes, you've reached that. I know that we get up every day and we seek to continue to innovate, and we seek to be, you know, innovative in our philosophy, and we seek new technology. So that's a part of us and part of our culture. So I'm not going to say that it is. I'm going to say that we commit to it every day.
Russ, as you guys march toward profitability, how important is the fan piece and the, you know, building a fan base of, I don't know, 20, whatever your target is, 20, 25,000, whatever.
Extremely important. You know, from our standpoint, Dany mentioned earlier, we're building this for the long haul. This is long-term sustainable model that we built. We're not putting numbers on anything. Like Dany said earlier, you know, just being in Orlando and being able to activate this market is incredible. We're so thrilled to be here, and so thrilled to be in all of our markets. So we are a player first and fan first league. You know, you mentioned earlier about innovations. We're a league of innovation, but we are not a league of gimmicks, right? So as we continue to evaluate each and every week to see what is best for our league moving forward, tweak things as we go. But in general, you know, it's always about the fan and in activating, engaging pre-game, during the game, post-game, but then how you activate during the week with your fan from a social media standpoint. I think we're continuing to do a very good job.
Dany, is there a plan to move it out of the hub eventually and get all the teams in their home markets so that they can connect with the community better?
Well, this was a launch strategy, number one, and number two, it's far different than when I started and you flew into market and brought media guides to the local press, right? So you can activate and engage with the fan constantly. If you look at the NFL, there's one day off a week during the season. That's the only time there can be any engagement. We engage constantly throughout the week. So we'll continue to do that with all the different touch points that we have in the marketplaces. Our coaches have done an amazing job throughout the course of the year. Candidly, that's one of the reasons we brought our coaches in early. T-Buck has been here constantly. Our athletes have been here. We're going to continue to do that and do that more as we move forward. But right now, we're very pleased with our centralized hub because it gives the athlete the best opportunity to succeed both on and off the field.
Dany, is your
Last
vision
question.
long-term?
Danny, is your long-term vision here to see the Guardians kind of take their place along with the Magic, along with some of the soccer teams and everything like that, to keep us being one of the major power brokers?
Who doesn't say yes to that question? It's absolutely. Our long-term vision is that this team becomes pivotal and paramount to Orlando. You know, the XFL has a very specific culture. You know, our boys, our coaches, all of our team members, every play matters. That's what we talk about. Every moment matters. So when they're out there, everything is so meaningful. It's so inspirational. You see this passion. That's a type of culture and team that you want to have in a city. And that's what we represent, and that's what I want for Orlando. So yes, the answer is yes.
Danny, Russ, thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you
guys.
very much.
Thank you. Thanks for your